I'm super excited that every single one of you made it here today. We're going to be talking about membership site funnels. We're going to be talking about how to use membership sites for your entire process. I'm talking about building leads. I'm talking about collecting payments. I'm talking about having your virtual assistant. And I'm talking about making your recurring money. And the one thing that you need to know that's consistent across every internet business on the internet, every single one. I don't care if you're talking about Lance and Robert and double agent marketing. I don't care if you're talking about Amazon. I don't care if you're talking about Google or even Yahoo. What they all have in common is they figured out that membership sites are an absolute must. They're an absolute must. It doesn't matter if you're selling a service. It doesn't matter if you're selling a physical product. It doesn't matter if you're selling a digital product. You have to have a membership site. And that's what it's all about. Not only having one, but having one that does what you need it to do and does it fast. So if you're all ready, what I'd like you to do is make sure you know where that question box is, because this is interactive. Your question will get worked in. So go ahead, find that question box and type in membership funnel, because that's what it's all about. You need to have yourself a membership funnel in order to succeed. That's what I want for you. That's what Robert wants for you. And that's what you want for you. So if it looks like you're all there and you're all ready to go, help me welcome Mr. Robert Plank to show you guys how you can create an online course in a few minutes and build a passive monthly income.
Awesome. I'm super excited to be here, Mr. Lance. And notice that when we have this title here, we're not talking about creating an online course in a few weeks. We're not talking about building a passive income next year. We're talking about doing it as soon as possible, and you need to have some amount of a sense of urgency, some amount of drive and time management and all that stuff, because if you're the kind of person where you have an idea and it takes you about a month to start moving on it, and it takes you about 2 more months to actually make some progress on it, and it takes you about 6 months to actually finish what you started. That's no place to be. That's no fun. We need to get you in a place where you get it done in a few days and not weeks or months instead. So real quick, we're not going to dwell on a lot of this time management terminology, but a couple things to throw out here is that you need to do what makes you money first. Make it pretty later, make it perfect later. Most of the things that you think are there to be perfected are just in the way of you making money. So you want to get towards the minimum viable product. Whatever's the minimum, that gets it done. So sales letter, okay, if you have a button that takes money, that's way far ahead of most other marketers, because most other marketers are stressing out about, well, is this lined up exactly right? Is this the exact shade of blue or the exact shade of yellow? They're printing out business cards while you're ignoring that silly stuff and focusing on what's making you money. The next thing is, have you heard of this thing called the 4 minute mile and this guy named Roger Bannister? Well, apparently, until like the year 1951 or so, no human being ever ran a single mile in 4 minutes until one guy did it. And then guess what? Everyone saw that this person did it, and they all kind of modeled that and copied that. And since then, I mean, I can't run a mile in 4 minutes, but it's just interesting that for hundreds of thousands of years, no one could run that fast until one person did. And then it's not like humans evolved at all. It's just they saw it was possible and then kind of repeated that. Next, 80-20 rule. You should be spending 80 or 20% of your time creating content, products, and bonuses, and 80% of your time marketing that. And if you say, well, that's not fair, that's not right. I believe in delivering value. I need to put a lot of effort into making your content. Well, that's great. If you want to make a video that has a slick little intro and cool music and share lots of cool stuff, that's completely fine. But just make sure that if you spend an hour or 2 hours on that, however, whatever amount, that you put 4 times that into marketing and getting people to see that valuable content that you created, whether we're talking about free stuff, a membership site, product, a video, audio, written, whatever. You need to be putting 4 times the amount of time it took you to actually make it, and put that into your marketing. And again, this is a great way to be ahead of most of your competitors, because for most of your competitors, this ratio is zero. For most of your competitors, they're still building up videos and content because they honestly have low self-esteem. And we've all been there with that low self-esteem kind of stuff. Okay, there we go. Roger Bannister, 1954. Now we're talking. So you make your content, and most of your competitors, they're still piling up. They say, I don't know, I've got to make a membership site, I've got to make some sales, but I think I'm going to put in like 6 months worth of videos. Then they get there and they say, you know what, I'm going to put in 9 months worth of videos, I'm going to put in 18 months worth of videos, and they still are just sitting on the launch pad. They still haven't marketed what they've done. So what Lance and I want to do for you today is shortcut and solve a lot of your problems to get you to that point where now you're telling people about what it is that you made, and now you're making money from what it is that you made. And it all comes down for us to 4 daily tasks. Every day, the tasks that we complete, one takes 45 minutes in the morning, one takes 45 minutes in the mid morning, one takes 45 minutes in the afternoon, and somewhere in between there is a little block of 15-minute time. And if you say, well, that's not right because I do 50 things a day. Well, there's probably a way that you could batch up or chunk up all those tiny little tasks that have you running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You can probably batch them all into one little 45-minute block, especially if you do this more often. And if you say, well, that's not right because I spend 8 hours a day. Well, do you? Probably not. Probably out of those 8 hours, there's probably only an hour or two that is the best use of your time. So make of that what you will. 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes. That is our day. And don't take more than 3 days to ship whatever idea that you have, whatever product that you have. And if you say, again, well, that's not right, I need to record 6 months worth of content. Well, no, you don't, not right away. If you plan on creating a monthly forever membership site, that's great, but wouldn't it make more sense instead of recording 12 months worth of stuff in advance? Wouldn't it make a lot more sense to record the first month or the first couple of weeks or the first 1 or 2 videos and have it all complete, have a way to take orders and payments so that way you get a couple of members to give you that initial reward from your effort, and then that will motivate you more into the next things that you create. And as you see what people like and don't like and how they use the things you make, then that can kind of steer you in the correct direction as opposed to just guessing. And the mantra for this entire training today is going to be do whatever gets it done, because a lot of people have basically had their dreams destroyed. They came online, they said, you know what? Everyone has a website, everyone's making money, it looks pretty easy. I'm just going to pick something at random and do it. And then what happens? Well, you get hung up on WordPress stuff. You get hung up on what WordPress theme to have. You get hung up on what shopping cart to make, and you go down what we call the rabbit hole. You started off saying, I just wanted to make a website and make some money. Next thing you know, you're researching 10 different shopping carts. That's no fun. We would rather that you avoid that and do whatever gets it done. So that's the focus on today, is to create an online course in a few minutes, and let me show you how to build a passive income this month. So I have some quick questions for you as we're getting ramped up here. What skills can you show someone? What skills that are easy for you but hard for others? And we all have those skills, and they could be how to get paid traffic, how to flip a house, how to lose weight. They don't have to be marketing or computer related. Now the next thing is, well, there's things that are fun for you to do, but what are people actually asking about? So is flipping a house or is losing weight in demand right now? Well, probably, as opposed to knitting your own sweater or changing or like cleaning your own car oil. I'm not sure if people are actually asking about. So we find a list. Maybe you can even make a list in your head or on paper of maybe just 5 or 10 possibilities that you could show someone, and then cross out the ones that no one's actually asking about. So then the next logical step there is to then think about, okay, so if my focus is I'm going to teach someone how to lose weight, well, when someone pays me money, if someone pays me $100 just to make it simple, what are they going to get? And not just some videos or some tools and things, but what are we building towards, and what do I want them to have? Do I want them, and not just lose weight, but do I want them to have lost 20 pounds in 30 days or in 3 months? Or, do I want them to have their blood sugar fixed or their blood pressure fixed or that they've successfully flipped a house and made $10,000 profit. What is the actual goal that you're building towards? Most marketers and membership site owners and people like that, they don't actually ask that question is what is the end game there? Once you have the end game, now we can backtrack a little bit and then break that problem down into 4 steps. So Lance and I recently put out a couple of weeks ago. We put out a course called Podcast Crusher, and we used all the same tools that we use for everything else, like WordPress and the same webinar platform and the same way to record video. And we said the end goal is that someone should have a podcast that is ranked on iTunes. So then we said, okay, well, the first milestone is they have to record a podcast episode, a little quick audio program, submit it to Apple. Then they can go back and add music, or they can go do things that make it look better. Then the third milestone can be that they get some interview guests on their podcast to get a bunch of content. Then the next milestone can be ways that they can climb in the rankings. So we first figure out what are things that we can show people. Then we narrow it down to what people are asking about. Then once we have that, we move it along and say, what are we building towards? Then chop it up into 4 pieces. And in all of this, it's one thing to just like tell people some facts and figures or list some steps or things like that. But you can even tell just now I kind of brought up our podcast crusher site because having a case study and actually building something in front of somebody helps a lot, especially because of that Rogers Bannister 4 minute mile kind of stuff. Someone else can see what's possible, and you always miss steps. There are always gaps if you're just showing some bullet points. I'm showing you bullet points right now, but we're going to switch off the bullet points in a few minutes and actually show you some real stuff. So the real question is if you figured out the skills you have, what people are asking, what the end game is, chop it up into 4 steps, and then how would you personally start over today? So then I think about our podcast. I say, if I was starting a podcast brand new, what would I do differently? What software would I do differently? What topics would I talk about? What actions would I take? So that way it's newbie friendly, but we also get to the good stuff. We're not just pandering and making it super basic just for the heck of it. So, talking about shortcuts, if this is a little over your head, that's okay. We're going to kind of cater to new people and to advanced people here. If you don't have a product, you say, I don't know how to make a product, I don't know how to make videos, things like that. Well, do a Google search for the words resale rights and your niche. And if you do that and you look for things like video products, I honestly don't even know what's going to come up if I search resale rights weight loss. If I search resale rights podcasting, I could just go in. So, extreme weight loss secrets. And then, as far as podcasting, podcasting made easy. So, we look, and right here, so for $7, we can get a book that was made in 2010. So, I'm not too crazy that it was made in 2010. That's a while ago. But I'm glad I had that information right off the bat. And now that I found this site, I can go back and search weight loss video, and while that's loading, I can check out this weight loss made easy. So for $1, we can have a product for sale. I really don't like that it's a decade old at least. So I'm going to go in the search box and search podcast video. And then we can see that, okay, well, I've got all these other topics, and I would just go in. Ooh, there we go. Here's one with a bunch of DVDs. So for $7, I could make some videos on this paleo diet thing. And so this is again a couple years old, but still, has dieting changed in the past couple years? Well, probably not. And this is a nice starting point because, well, they've already written your web page for you. You've already got videos for you. So this gets it done for today. This is something that you could sell today. And then tomorrow, if you want to go and redo the videos on your own, add some more videos that you want, or move this over as a bonus, that's a thing you could reconfigure. But this gets it done today and avoids you going down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out all these different things. So the same thing with the podcasting stuff. I could say, well, this video on Audacity software, this Surefire podcast, I can go and look and say, okay, for $4, I'm not sure what year this was made, but this gives me a place to start off. Same thing here. So for $9, I can have a product that's probably pretty good. Like if a resale rights product has videos, it's probably not super bad. It always could be better, but that's where you come in. That's where you can be a little better. If you're worried about the look and feel of your site, that's a nice to have, not a must have. That's something that you can go there and revisit later. But what's more important is that you have some words on a web page so that you can make some money. I mean, what is Google, if you think about google.com, right? We were just there searching some resale rights stuff. I mean, what the heck is Google's layout? Google is just, I mean, it's just a white background kind of thing, right? If I search for resale rights weight loss, there's no design to it. What's more important are the words on the text. What's more important that people can get to where they need to get to. If you're worried about taking payments and do I need to use, Stripe or credit cards or whatever, my answer is to get a business account with PayPal. Why? Because this gets it done today. So that is an issue. If you're ever worried in the future, if you say, "Well, I'm losing money because I'm not taking orders over the phone or something," well, then that's something you can revisit later. But this gets it fixed today. If you're worried about email marketing and building a list, having an email autoresponder, we'll either forget that for now, or my answer to that is use a service called Aweber, Aweber. If you don't know what that is, if you've never been there, that's fine. But if the one thing that's been holding you back is that you don't have a way to send some emails to your subscribers, well, then there you go. There's the answer, or just skip it. If you need to know how to convert or save PDF documents, there's a free tool that has basically put Microsoft Word out of business. It's called Google Drive. You can get a free account at google.com/drive. It's all based in your browser, so there's no longer an excuse if you have Mac, PC, Chromebook, iPad, whatever. You type whatever needs to be typed, paste whatever needs to be pasted in the web browser, save it. It creates a PDF document right there for you. If you've been stressing out that you can't put videos on a web page, on a sales letter, in a membership site, the easy answer is to go to a site called YouTube, right? So here's my channel on YouTube. And the great thing about YouTube is that any video that
This is
you
Robert
have
Plant.
on here, you can share, right? So we're looking at this video that I made, and I can go and I can click on share. And this link right here, I can just right click and copy it, and I can stick it on my web page, on my WordPress blog, whatever, and that gets it shared. And then if you have like a private kind of training you have or a video, we can just go and edit this video. And so when you upload a video to YouTube, you just choose a file. Doesn't matter what format, they convert it for you. You name it, but there's this thing that says public, right? Now most YouTube videos you see or think about are public. All you'd have to do is just switch this. We don't want private because private means that only you can view it. But if you make it unlisted, well, now we can just plop this video anywhere we want on any web page, including our own membership site, but nobody can easily find it on YouTube unless they have the exact link, which they won't, because how are they going to find this KC8P5S, all this crazy stuff in the address bar? So there's your answer right there. If the one thing that's been holding you back from making all this money was video, put it on YouTube, upload any video format, they'll convert it. And even if you shot it on your iPhone, iPad, web camera, whatever, put it on here, make it unlisted, boom, that gets it done today. All right. And we use all kinds of free plugins and tools like WordPress, where if you want to have like a table or a grid or something, we use a plugin called TablePress. So in many cases, just getting the website you want is a matter of setting up a tool called WordPress and putting in whatever plugin there is available to you. And so, for example, there's a plugin called TablePress, which allows us to plop in whatever kind of table, whatever kind of grid or dashboard we want on our sales letters, on our membership sites, whatever. So that's all great. And so what I did was, what we've done is we've really moved a lot of things over to this platform called WordPress. And the thing we're going to be talking about and showing you today is this plugin that runs on WordPress called MemberGenius. So if you want to open up your browser tab to membergenius.com and follow along or whatever, you can. But basically, to make sure we're all on the same page, I made kind of a test site, a .com site here, and I installed a blogging software called WordPress, right? And so this is a really popular software. I'm hoping that you've heard of it, maybe you use it. But the point is that you can basically add in content, add in posts. And when we're talking about you making a thing called a membership site, it just means that you protect the content that you create. So we're going to talk about four kinds of membership sites today, but I want to get out of your head the fear that a membership site means that you're charging $20 a month for some tips, for some videos, for some articles, for some interviews. I mean, that's not what we're talking about today. I mean, you could make a site like that, but that is the cliche, and that solution is the most work, least reward, having a monthly forever membership site. And I'm going to be telling you and showing you the kind of membership site you should be creating instead, at least in my opinion. I could be wrong. Hear me out, see if you disagree. So WordPress is what we have right here. And just to make sure, again, that we're all on the same page, the way to set this up is we use a web host called HostGator, and we actually also use a waytopark.com name using Namecheap. Okay, so we buy a .com on Namecheap, right? So like a web address, and that's $9. Then we go to this web host called HostGator, and HostGator has instructions on how to point a .com name over to your HostGator account. Okay, and then we just log in here, and then once we log in, we can scroll down and there's this area called Quick Install. So we just left click on that. And then I can say, well, there's all this crazy stuff, don't know what any of it means, but I want to install a thing called WordPress. So it scrolls me down here. And yes, I want to install WordPress for free. So install WordPress, and they give me this form to fill out. So literally there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things I have to answer, and I have to answer where do I want to install it. So I want to have a blank blog, an online journal on membershipnewbie.com. I don't want to, they make it all, they use programming terms and say what's an install path. It's a folder. So like I don't want to put it on membership newbie blog. I just want to put a WordPress blog on just like the front door of the site. The .com, boom, there's a WordPress site there. I fill in email address, name of the blog, my name. I click on this green button, and what that does is installs this for me. This right out of the box, it gives me this black and white look and feel, this little test post, but it doesn't have to be any prettier than that. We just want to get it done. Okay, so what we're going to be getting into today is that so you have this .com name from Namecheap. You point it to a web host called HostGator, and then we go to an area called Quick Install, get a WordPress site set up. So hopefully we're somewhat on the same page here. And by the way, if you don't know of an easy way to do all that stuff, there's a website called Fiverr. It's Fiverr.com, and give them the details, and they can do that for you. You can hire someone to install this stuff for you. But what we're going to talk about today is a thing called a funnel, right? You hear about this thing called a funnel, and it basically means that, well, you kind of guide and direct people who come to your site through a certain path, right? And I mean, the idea a lot of people say is, well, get them to buy something for $7, and then get them to buy something for 17, and then get them to buy for 27, and get them to buy for 37. And I guess you could get that crazy, but we're going to make it super simple today. All right, so you can make a free site, right? You can get someone to sign up for something in exchange for a freebie. And this could be a video you made on YouTube that's unlisted, like I just showed you. It can be like 3 YouTube videos you found. It can be 3 articles that you either wrote yourself or had made or found and pasted them into Google Drive, save a PDF report, and you set it up at example.com/free. Right? So just to make sure we all understand this, free site means that somebody fills in some details, they click in, they get something for free, there's no money exchanged with you. Then single payment site where you charge $97, where that's it. It's not $97 a month, a year, $97 one time, that's it. They pay that, they get what they paid for. No content gets dripped out, there's no rebill. If they ever refund, which they probably won't, but for that, 1% or less of your buyers who do, they lose access to the membership site that they bought into. But this took me years to even think of and figure it out, that you can charge $97 one single time, and that gives someone access into a membership site. Then you can have a thing called a fixed term site where you split up the payments into payment plans or installments, I guess you could call it, where maybe you could say, well, for 97 bucks you could get this all at once, or for 5 payments of $19.95 spaced out 30 days apart, you still get it all at once, but you just kind of pay it off at like one payment at a time. Now, if you only make 2 payments or 3 payments or 4 payments, then then you lose access if you stop paying. But if you make all 5 payments, there are no further payments and you are in forever. And then there's this monthly thing that everyone hears about where uh, someone pays forever and ever, and there's new content added. And let's just say that to make things simple, that to have this site where you give away stuff for free, you put it at whatever your .com site is slash free. If you charge one time for something, you put it at the front door of your site. So like membergenius.com or like membershipnewbie.com. Also have the payment plan on that same thing because you're selling the same kind of product. And then if you have something that you charge monthly for, you can put it at example.com slash monthly. And in the old days, in the dark ages of the internet, you'd have to transfer files, you'd have to create a folder here called free. You'd have to upload some images, some CSS stuff, some HTML code. You'd have to do a whole big thing. But in today's day and age, you click a button, and if you say, I want to have a page where I'm convincing somebody to register on my site for free, click. It's on slash free. I want to have a site where someone pays me money one time, click done. I want to have another web page where I convince someone to pay me monthly, you click, it's done. There's no more uploading, editing code, any of that stuff. So we are making some progress there, right? We're making progress from the old days of either coding stuff by hand, front page, Dreamweaver, any of those things if you've messed with those. And so it's easier now, but people still get bogged down. Now, this is good because your competitors are getting bogged down. So if you can get over that little tiny hurdle, well, now you kind of broken through, and now you're making all this money while your competitors are still being perfectionists and still thinking and researching and learning instead of just doing. So to make this simple, to make sure you take some action, there's already 4 choices to make. That's not good. Choices are bad. So I would say start with that single payment site. And if you want to use Member Genius for this, or if you already have a solution, either way, great. Either way, start with the site where you charge one single payment for forever access. Don't worry yet about drip content. Don't worry yet about upsells. Just charge one single price for one single thing. Seems simple, but most people don't want to make it this simple. But if you do, you'll get to the money faster than everyone else. So we're making progress, but then there's so many plugins then, because then we say, okay, well, I need a way to take some payments. I need to a way to send some emails. And some of these hosted platforms, well, they say they'll do everything for you. They say they will, but then once you join, you still need to hook up your own merchant account. You still have to hook up your own email sending service. So it's kind of like, well, I was sold on this idea of paying a little bit more for all these hosted solutions that it would just all be done, but I still have to hook some stuff up together. So I prefer, and I think that you should host it yourself. That way, your business isn't relying on someone else's website to stay online. It just you control it, but you still need to have. We said, okay, well, I need to have a membership plugin. And in that, I need a way to take payments and all that. I might need at some point a drip content plugin, or maybe even I'll just have a little bit of drip content, not a lot. And then the latest and greatest thing is that, well, now a lot of these sites have hooked into Facebook, right? So if you're logged into Facebook right now, if you have a tab open, you have your phone open, can you do me a favor and go in the question box and type in FB? I won't get mad at you, even though you probably shouldn't have it open because I mean we're trying to talk here. But most people are in some way logged into Facebook at some point right now, right? Even if you just don't have it open on the computer, if you have a phone and you have that Facebook app, well, guess what? It's sitting on Facebook right now. So what's really cool is that more and more sites are doing this. This is the direction that the progress is going. A lot of these sites have a way for people to log in on Facebook. And I'll give you an example. This is a site I was in for about a year and a half. I recently canceled because the food they send you really sucks. It's a good idea though. But basically, this is a site called Blue Apron where every week they'll send you like ingredients and a recipe and you like cook meals. So good idea in theory, but it's kind of the food just sucks. But what's cool about it is you go to log in, enter your username and password, and you can log in, or you can one click and log in with Facebook. So this is where a lot of these websites are moving towards because everyone's on Facebook. So why wouldn't you just make it one click easy for someone to get into your site over and over again? So membership plugin, drip content plugin, social plugin. But what if you didn't have to fiddle around and combine all these pieces together? What if just one membership site did it all for you? Okay, and you still have to hook up your own way to take payments, but I'm telling you right now, PayPal, and it's not that difficult. But instead of trying to combine all these different things, what if I gave you just one single solution that gave you a membership site that handled payments, that dripped content if you wanted to, and had some extra little goodies? For example, the ability for members to log in one click in Facebook. Well, we created an all-in-one membership funnel software, and it's called Member Genius, where you install WordPress in one click. You install our Member Genius plugin in about 3 clicks. And then once it's on there, now the fun part happens because now you can protect content and you can decide what of your stuff is for the paid members only and what are, or even not even paid, but just like registered members, right? Because sometimes we can give away things for free, but they still have to register themselves in order to get that protected content. So we have some protected stuff, but then we want the front door of the site to convince people to sign up. We create a payment button using a platform called PayPal, and then we can create additional products or levels and potentially have one single membership site. Okay, and let's just kind of call this like the core membership site where maybe we sell something. Well, we can also kind of off to the side later on add a free piece, add a free level to the site. We can go later on add another piece where we add a monthly level to the site, but this is all the same site, they're just different pieces of the site, right? And so we can kind of do that. But what's cool about this is that it's easy if you know what steps are in front of you, if you know what steps you need to take. So you add a payment button so someone can pay you money. If you have an email autoresponder, you can hook that up. And if you want a way for people to one click log into Facebook, you can do that too. So I'm going to be showing you this software. So a couple quick things. Membership sites don't have to be recurring. I hope that I drilled that into you so far. You don't have to charge monthly and keep adding to it. You can charge one single payment, $100. If $100 sounds too scary, maybe start at $10. But either way, they don't have to be recurring. They're just on or off, which means if someone buys, they're in. If they refund, a signal is sent from your payment processor to your membership site and they're kicked out. If they are paying month after month after month and they don't take the money back but they stop paying that monthly billing agreement, then another signal is sent, then they lose their access. But the whole beauty of this is that if someone pays you money and they come back a year later, you don't even have to know that it's happening. If they pay you today and then they're happy with their purchase, they come back a year later and they forget their login. Well, they could either one click login in Facebook or they could click on a special link that says I lost my password, get back in. Now they're back in. So next thing, membership levels. What we're going to be doing in a couple of minutes here is creating content. I like to use these things called pages, and then we protect that content with levels. So it's really important that we're all on the same page here. So if we have our membership site and we have a membership site about weight loss, podcasting, whatever, we have our little core level there, and let's say that we put out a page on it and we call it whatever membership newbie slash module 1, and we put a video on there, right? Make another page called membership newbie slash module 2, put a video on there, and then we can make another page. We can make as many pages as we want and call it maybe membership newbie dashboard. And so we have a dashboard page. You can click on the module 1, click on module 2, all that stuff. So all of this content grouped together is called a level. And then we said that we might have a free level, so we might off to the side make another web page called free. Maybe we'll put a video on that. Well, that is another level right there. So we can group pages and posts and things, and then we can go ahead and add some members. So that means that either someone buys from us, or we fill in some past customers, or anything, and then we can give somebody access to a specific level. So we can have Harold in the audience there, put him on the core level. We could have Brad Miller, put him on the free level. So you can have different members have different access to groups of content. So what really confused me, and what still kind of confuses me, is people say you can have different levels or different kinds of membership access. You can have silver, you can have the gold level, you can have the platinum level, and I'm thinking that doesn't I don't even know what that means. What makes a lot more sense to me is if we had a level and we guess what? We name it what the heck it is. So we have a core level, you buy the core of maybe like our podcasting course, 97 bucks, you get access to this group of pages, like the meat of it, right? The core of the site. And then maybe we pull out a piece, give it away for free, maybe like some quick little checklist or some quick video. So that is just a free level. And then later on, if we say, well, this promotion, this membership site was a big hit, let's keep the ball rolling and let's have some kind of a monthly meeting where we all meet and record it. Well, then now that's another level, but all three of these things can be all part of the same site. But I mean, let's not get too bogged down by all the possibilities, but it's really important that we're kind of on the same page about we're all going to use WordPress here, and then we're going to be using this plugin, which you can get at membergenius.com. So I haven't turned it on yet. Right now, we're just using a regular WordPress blog. But actually, I guess I will turn it on. Let's turn on this plugin called MemberGenius. And when we look at this, well, we have right now no members in our site. We look at our levels and we just have this full level right here. But if I wanted to say, I'm going to make a level, I'm going to call it core, and I'm not going to give people access to everything here. So I'll click on add new level, right? And I can say, well, I'm going to make some content in my site. So let me just even see what my site is right now. It's just a blog. I want to build it out. So I'm going to say new page, and I'm just going to call this my dashboard page, and I'll say I'm going to link to module 1 later on, link to module 2, all that stuff. And then you see there's this Member Genius little panel here. I could make this public. So even if someone's logged out, they can see it, but I want to protect it for my members, and I want to make sure that the core members have access to this. So if someone's a core member, they see this. If not, they don't see it. I'll go ahead and publish that. Then I can go new page again, and I'll just say like this is module 1 quick setup, and here's where I can paste in a video, maybe an unlisted YouTube about podcasting. Okay, great. Again, protect this, so don't make it available for everyone. Make it available for this core level here, and publish that. So now we're kind of starting to get somewhere, right? And if I go back to my pages here, I can go back to my whatever heck that is. I don't want a sample page either. So I've got a dashboard page, a module 1 page. I can go to my dashboard over here, and I can say, well, I'm going to highlight this, and maybe I'll even make it more proper and say module 1 quick start. And later on, I could go and add a plugin called TablePress and make it look pretty. But for now, let's get it done. I can highlight this module 1 quick start, click on this insert link, and here we go. We want this module 1 quick setup. So I'll left click on that, add link, boom. Didn't have to do any typing, just clicking around. Now we have this thing called a dashboard page. So somebody logs into our site, they see this, they see me linking to my other modules of my site. So I'll just go ahead and update that. So I know I'm going to be clicking around kind of fast here. So we're going to be switching a lot between the strategy and the implementation. So the exact plan for you today is to find a real need in the marketplace that people are actually asking about on forums and on Facebook groups. Okay, so first find what people are actually looking for. Then you go and identify some competitors. Go and look at what other membership sites are out there, especially the high ticket ones, especially the recurring ones. See what kind of monster courses are out there. See what books are on Amazon. I'm going to say to you today, price 97. Why? Because this removes the potential choices and potential places you'll get stuck. If we say 97, you can always change it later. Today, make it 97. Now, you make 4 modules that are about 70 or so minutes each. And here's the layout is you say, well, I'm going to first give you a big initial result with podcasting or house flipping. That's the first 70-minute module. A big bang for their buck. Get them to identify the house they're going to buy or something. Next, give them what they want. So if they really wanted to know how to use the real estate listing software, or they wanted to know how to price a house or whatever, that's what you give them what they want, and then figure out what's a long-term piece you can sneak in for the third module, and then the fourth module is a wrap up or some other little case studies that kind of reinforce your unique secret sauce of real estate, weight loss, WordPress training, whatever your niche is. Okay, so that's the plan. And then we just have to click around and create the different pages. And I'm just going to whip up some pages for you right now today. So we're going to make what's called a sales page, which is a web page where anyone can see it. So this will be the front page of our site, so to speak, visible to everyone. And what's cool about this is that most blogs, like in WordPress, and I mean, one of the many reasons why WordPress is great is that most WordPress themes have a thing called a wide template. What does this mean? It means that usually you set up a blog and you've got, journal entries, blog posts. On the sidebar here, you've got on the side you've got a sidebar. You can do this thing called a wide template and remove the sidebar. So all there is the text that you're going to be talking about. So then you can link to whatever your site is slash login. And this is built in. You don't have to make anything for this. Just link to your website slash login, and it will log someone into your site. And then we can have that dashboard page as a members only area. And then in our settings, we can just say, okay, well, when someone logs in, I want them to go to this thing called the dashboard page. If someone is not logged in, then I want them to go over to a sales page. So what we can do here is we can go and we can look at the pages we have so far, right? We have a thing called a dashboard page, which is slash dashboard. We have a module one quick setup. These are both protected. I can go and make a new page, and I'll call this sales page, or I can call it the name of my course. I can rename it later, and I can say I'll put in a headline here. I can put in a sub headline here. I can center, I can add text, I can add a PayPal button, all these things, center that. And I'm going to make this, we said this is going to be membership newbie slash join. Okay? Then I will say, I am going to allow access to everyone. They don't have to be a member to see this. And then I'm going to look, and there's no way in this particular theme to make it a template without a sidebar, but that's okay. Let's just see what gets it done. So if I click on this little join page here, I don't like that there's a sidebar, but I can remove things. I can kind of live with that. And actually what I can do real quick is I can go to this area called widgets, and I can just delete stuff. So delete, 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 and added in this stuff just to, I guess just to be kind of helpful here. So we can delete all these things, and I can visit the site again, and this is kind of doable, right? And especially if I go to membership newbie slash join, this is kind of doable because, well, I guess let me see how it looks if I'm logged out. If I'm logged out here, I can go back to membership newbie slash join. And okay, well, on the sidebar here, like there's a way for existing members to log in, so it's not. I mean, that's still kind of doable, right? There's nothing else for them to get distracted by. But they look on my sales page here. Sure, I'd rename this, but I can kind of this gets it done, and I can always go back later on and spend the 10 minutes to find a better, WordPress theme or whatever. But you can kind of notice here, like, okay, well, the next thing that I want to do here is this is that membership newbie slash join. But if I go to the front page of my site here, it's asking me to log in. I don't want to have to tell someone to go to my site slash join. So what the heck do I do? Well, I need to log in real quick. I'm logged in. I'll go to my Member Genius settings here. And then there's these areas here for, okay, so the front page I want to have when they log in, they go to my dashboard page, right? And then my non-member page, they go to my sales page here. Okay, so let's kind of see what we're dealing with here. So all I did was I made some pages. I said the front page for logged in members is my dashboard page, logged out page is sales page. I'm going to view my site again. All right, so I log in. Well, hey, the front page here is my dashboard, link to my other modules, all that cool stuff. I can click log out over here. And then when I'm logged out, if I click on it, that'll help if I actually log out. I think I'm logged out. If I log out here, then I'm back on my sales page. So I can go and I can log in again. So sales page, headline, now I'm logged in as a member, and now I just see the content here that's protected. And actually, to make it super simple, I'm going to say if they're logged out, I'll send them back to the sales page. So I mean, it's more important to get it set up, and then we can kind of jigger, to use a technical term, the right settings and things like that. So we're logged in, dashboard module one, log out, and sales page, headline, subheadline, got logged in, and log back in. So kind of cool. So now we're getting somewhere. Now we're already way ahead of 90% of our competitors. Maybe not 95%, but we're ahead of 90% of them for sure. We have this thing called WordPress. We installed a plugin called Member Genius. We put together an unprotected sales page that anyone can view, and they can click on a button and buy access. And then we have, once they're logged in, now if they're logged in and they go to the front page, now the front page they see is this dashboard. So now we're kind of getting somewhere, and we could almost go to this Member Genius area here, and we can almost kind of just go through tab by tab and play around and see what happens. So we don't have much to mess around with here, but we can make a member here, right? We can say, I'm going to add a new member. I'm going to call this member John Doe. I'll put some stuff. Let's see, I'll put an email address, and I'll put a password in here, and I'll give them access to the core level. So we can submit that. And so now we see, all right, we have a member here called John Doe. We can go back to our dashboard here, and awesome, we can see we have a member on the active level. Whoa, we went from 0 people to 1 person. So we can see this graph is kind of starting to fill up here. So now we're making some progress. If this person John Doe logs in, we can kind of see them in the list here. We can go to our members tab, and we can see, I mean, if we had hundreds or thousands of members, we can just get a bird's eye view of everyone in our site. So great. Then we can play around. If we ever wanted to add new levels, if you wanted to add the free level here, we could do that. If we wanted to add that monthly level here, we could do that. And then really important, we don't want to give access to everything. Don't want to give access to everything. So this kind of just starts to come together, right? We have different levels and things. We can hook up a payment processor. So we don't have time for that today, but we would just say, I want to take payments, and we recommend PayPal because that gets you started today. Or if you want to use JVZoo or ClickBank, you could do that. Hooks up to any autoresponder, hooks up to Facebook and Google+. So you'd hook it up to whatever payment system if you want, or just give away free stuff for now. I'd highly recommend you take some orders now, and then you can move your, without getting into too many details, you can put your button at 1 cent, see if the membership works, if the access works, if someone can do a test purchase, and then make it the full price. Hook it up to an email autoresponder. If you know what Aweber or GetResponse are, that's optional. You could hook up to social media like Facebook and Google. So what we did so far, we installed WordPress, we installed a thing called Member Genius, we set up our dashboard page for logged in members, we set up a sales page for logged out members, and then we can kind of test our login and log out pages, which you kind of did, kind of went out, came back in. We can make a payment button so that we can charge money, or you know what else you could do is you go to your levels here, and you can say, so I could just hand out this link to give someone access to the free level. So I can right click this and open in a new window. And what this would do for me is someone could say, fill in a new username, first name, last name, email address, password. They click this button, and now they have access to get into the thing that they just registered to for free. So kind of cool there. And what we would do if we had a bunch of time to play around is that we would then add a new member, and I made that John Doe test user, but I would mess around with having them log in as that person just to make sure everything is all working. Okay, so that gets us set up. WordPress, Member Genius, dashboard page, sales page, log in, log out, Cool, now we're getting somewhere. So the next thing, I want to show you how to make it a slightly better, because what we want to do is get you up and running and selling, and then whenever you feel like it, make your membership site a little bit better, slightly better. Now, people are one click logging into sites, especially from a mobile phone. And what you do is you paste in a special code from Facebook, you paste in a special code from Google, and then what it does is if they click on to log into your site, if the how do I explain this? So everyone in your site has an email address, right? If I go and look at my members list, so we have this, so here's my address, here's this John Doe email address. Everyone has an email address, right? And you probably used an email address to register with Facebook, or you use it to log in, or Facebook emails you saying someone commented on your wall or whatever. So there's an email address here. And if someone goes to log into your site using Facebook, if this matches up to Facebook, it says, great, you have access. Now, I realize that you might not have the same exact address, like we all have multiple email addresses. So in that case, if we don't find you in the system, then it just says for the very first time, connect your Facebook account to this membership site account. So just that one time, and then next time it knows who you are, and I'll show this to you in a second. And then the bonus here as well is that if someone new either registers for your site for free or they pay you money, then they can just one click even register. So like if they paid you money, they don't want to think of a username, password, click on Facebook, boom, it's done. Then they can always come back and log in using Facebook. So again, don't want to bog us down with too many technical details, but built into this Membership Genius plugin, there's a tab over here called Social. You click on that, and what we can do is hook our site up to Facebook or to Google. And there are 10 quick steps. I tell you what to go and click on and do. And what I'm going to do in the other window is I'm going to grab I think this will work. I'm going to grab a special code over there. So one second. I'm just going to grab in my other window here. I'm going to grab, oh, gotta put in my password. So I'm going to grab a special code from Facebook. I'm going to plop it right in here, okay? So I'm going to paste that one in. The other one, I can't show you. So I'm going to put these details in, but you got to trust me a little bit. I went to Facebook, I went through these steps, I copied a special code into our Member Genius site. So I hope this is going to work. Got a little live demo going. So what I could do, I could click on this thing to test it, but let me just kind of view the site. Logged in, I can log out, and when I log out, we can see that I can either log in normally or I can go and log in with Facebook. So check this out. I can left click, fingers crossed that it's all working for me. So it didn't recognize me, right? And it said just this one time, log in with your usual information. Okay. Well, now I'm connected, and now if I go and look at my details here, now this Member Genius site is hooked into Facebook. Okay. So what that means is if I log out again, so I'm on my sales page and all that, but I've already bought, I want to log in with Facebook. Moment of truth here, I can left click on log into Facebook. Boom, I'm logged in. Didn't have to type in anything, no username, no password. This is great if you're doing this on a phone especially, because you don't have to type in all these letters and numbers and uppercase and lowercase stuff. I'll show you this again. We can log out of our site here, and I can even go membership newbie log in. And here we go. We can either enter our details normally or just log in with Facebook. So I can click on login with Facebook, give it a second here, boom. We didn't have to do anything because it knew who I was on Facebook. So that's pretty cool, right? And we can do the same thing. We're kind of running out of time a little bit here, but I want to do the same thing with Google, and the steps are almost the same thing. So I'm going to go over to Google here, and it wants me to paste in a special code from Google. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, I don't have that set up. So, but well, okay, I'll show you the button at least. So the whole point is that once this is all set up for you here, then oh, it is set up. Okay, so I spoke too soon. So we're going to go and I'm going to paste this little code here. And so we've now enabled our login with Google, and I can go and visit the site again. I can go and log out, And now I can log in with either Facebook or with Google. So we can do any combination, right? Just have a normal login, have just Facebook, have just Google, have both of them. And this is super cool as well because I can do this for registration as well. So let's say that I linked someone to this free content I was going to have, right? Or let's say someone paid us money. Now they're at this core level to go and check this out. I can go to this full registration here. Or, I'm sorry, I meant to do free registration. So I went to say I'm giving something away for free, right? And someone says, I just want the free thing. I don't want to fill in all this stuff. No problem. Click the button and register with Facebook. So I'm not going to click on this because my account's already connected, but they can click on this one little register with Facebook, and then boom, now it creates an account for them, makes a password for them. They can recover the password, but they don't even need to know their own password to your membership site. Why? Because they can just go back in and log in with Facebook again. So lots of really cool stuff. And so, I mean, the whole point is that we need to get back to having fun again, and we need to get back to making money again. And it just doesn't make any sense to try to piece a bunch of little things together and install a bunch of little things, because 6 months later, you're going to be wondering, well, what the heck, like, where did all the time go, where did all the fun go? And so, for example, member genius has all this stuff built in, right? So you can hook up and make your membership sites a one-click login with Facebook. If you want to connect this to your autoresponder system, if you happen to have Aweber or something, you can just say, if someone joins my site on this core level, I'll just paste in the code that my email service gives me and I can verify it. And now when someone registers on this core level, it hooks up to my autoresponder system. If I want to take payments using PayPal, JVZoo, or ClickBank, I just have to follow the instructions, and then I can make a button someone can click on. I don't have to make a separate plugin or a separate solution just for that. If I want to add more content or protect more content, or if I want to say that some of my pages here, like for example, we can see that this dashboard and all these are core, free, and monthly, so I'd have to change some of these things around, but I can get a bird's eye view of what all my content is. I can get a bird's eye view of who my members are and what they're doing. And so this way, we have all the power that we want to have in our site. We want to be aware of everything that's happening. We want to have that CEO view, but we also want the simplicity. And this way we can focus on actually making some money, right? Remember we talked about the 80-20 rule as we got started here, the 80-20 rule. So you make some kind of content, you need to put at least 4 times the amount of time that it took you to make that content to get some more members in the gate, so that we can actually make some money and run a business. What a concept. Because to have a $10,000 per month income, which if you think about it, well, that's huge. That seems like almost impossible to get to. But if you break it down, that's about $300 a day or about $2,000 a week. Now that's almost kind of doable. Break it down even more and say, well, if you just made a $500 sale every other day, that might seem like a lot to you or a bit of a stretch, but every other day, $500 is 10 grand a month. Two $100 sales per day. Or maybe if every day you just made a 197, 97, and a 47, just every day, that would add up to 10 grand a month. Or even if you sold more low ticket, just 25 sales at $100 a week. Or even just to get it really, really basic, $1,000 a month, or an extra $1,000 a month, or $1,000 a month from whatever this new project, this new income stream of yours is, $33 a day or 250 a week. That's just 197 sales a month. Not even every day or every other day, just 5 sales a month, or a $97 sale every 3 days. Or how about this? $1,000 a month is just one $37 sale per day. Not even monthly, just 37 bucks one time. Five $50 sales a week, or two $17 sales per day. So anytime I'm thinking about what's my next goal, what's the next milestone, or even how big you want to get your membership site built up to, kind of break it down. And maybe you don't do the math this much, but break it down from the monthly number is just huge, right? Break it down into weekly, then break it down into based on what price I'm charging, how many copies am I going to sell? Because for me, it sounds way more doable to just say, Okay, two $17 sales per day, or a $500 sale every other day, as opposed to this big, huge number. So I don't want you to get bogged down with the technical details. I want you to get to the marketing phase and have some fun. And that's where our Member Genius plugin comes in, which you can grab right now by going to, my mouse just froze here, membergenius.com. You're just a few clicks away from your very own recurring fixed term, single payment, or free membership site with zero technical skills required. Nothing I did today involved editing code, uploading stuff, making folders. It was just usually I had a form in front of me and I needed someone to tell me what to click on, what checkbox to tick in that form. And so that's what we wanted to do with this Member Genius solution for you. You wanted it to be super easy, but also super powerful and do everything you want. And it's also an all-in-one solution. Just hook up your payment system pretty much and that's it. So it's a WordPress plugin that you install on your site, which means that not only is it easy and there's no databases or editing required, but you control it. This handles, we've tested it up to 10,000 members. It'll probably have more, but we're talking about unlimited members, unlimited levels. So you can sell just one thing, or you saw we set up like a core level, a free level, a monthly level. I mean, potentially you could sell 100 products or more on just one single site. You can drip content. Actually, I told myself I was done with this, but I just can't resist. So what's cool about Member Genius, again, built in, you can go to once this loads, you can go to the levels area here. And well, first of all, you can have content expire. So you can say someone can register for free, but after 30 days, they lose their access and now they have to actually buy something. So you can have like kind of like a trial deal there. You can also have this thing called a sequential upgrade, which means that if someone's on a certain level, maybe if they're actually, what we could do is we can make a level here and we can have a level called bonus one. All right. And we'll worry later about what pages that has access to. We'll make a level called bonus 2. We'll worry later about what levels that has access to. And we can say in our sequential upgrade here, we can say that if somebody joins my core level, right? They pay me just one time, but you know what? I want to give them a little something extra for sticking around. So if they're on the core level, then I want to add them to my bonus one level after let's say 15 days. So they're in for a couple weeks. Now they get access to this bonus one level. Okay. Now, when they're on this bonus one level for a little while longer, I want to say after maybe 30 more days, then they'll have access to bonus too. So potentially can have drip content here, and there was expiring content as well. And this is all just explained in the rules here. But now this is a way where even if someone pays you one time, if you're concerned about refunds or things like that, give them a little something before and a little something after the refund period, and this will end up being 15 days later, and this will end up being 45 days later because it's 15 plus 30. So we can kind of do some cool stuff, and that's all built in right there. We got some drip content built into our Member Genius plugin. This connects to PayPal, JVZoo, or ClickBank. We really recommend you to use PayPal to get started, but then JVZoo and ClickBank are great because they have built-in affiliate programs and they handle all the cutting of the checks and all that stuff for you. So that just hooks in. Once it's hooked in, you don't have to worry about it. If you have an email autoresponder, not required but highly recommended, this works with any email autoresponder solution. Literally any one. You just paste in the special code they give you, whether it's Aweber, GetResponse, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, whatever. This hooks up to any email autoresponder. Somebody joins your membership site either for free, one time, recurring, anywhere in between, and then that lead is also added to your autoresponder. And that Facebook and Google stuff I showed you, that was not a separate plugin. I literally on this site, you know what's ridiculous about this site here is that literally there is only one plugin on this entire WordPress site, and the theme that's running it is literally the theme, whatever theme that comes with it built in. So this is all built into one single plugin, and that one plugin is called Member Genius, and we honestly believe that this is the best membership plugin that's out there. So it runs on WordPress, run as many members, levels, drip content, payments, autoresponder, social login. I'm not sure whatever else we could add to it, other than there's some really cool dashboard kind of view. So here's a site that is not ours, where we built it for someone else, and we can just easily see how the membership site is growing over time, how many new members we had this month and this week, how many people canceled or refunded, so that we have this bird's eye view again. We know what's coming up next. We can hook this up to PayPal, JVZoo, ClickBank, and this works with all of them simultaneously if you want. So you can have your main sales letter be the place to take PayPal payments, right? You could make a copy of that sales letter and make your site membership newbie slash JVZoo, and then that's where you have your JVZoo button. You can make a site that's podcast cluster slash ClickBank, make a copy of that, and it just has the button for ClickBank, so that way you get traffic from all these different affiliates. We can see who's logged into our site right now or when they last logged in. We can scroll down and see the exact names of people, when they joined, do they have access still or not, cut off their access either manually or when they get refunds or things. We can go in and there's lots of little goodies here, right? Like we can see when they logged in, their IP address, when they registered, when they came back. We can log in as them, so we can click one single button and we can see what they see. So lots of cool stuff there. And this is all a plugin which you can get at membergenius.com. So this is our Member Genius version 2 plugin. You control it. No databases or editing required. Handles 10,000 members or more. Sells 100 products or more. Drip content with no additional plugins. Connects to PayPal, JVZoo, ClickBank. Social registration. Email autoresponder integration. It hooks up with all of our plugins. So if you know us, Lance Thomas and Robert Plank, and you have our plugins like WP Drip, WP Notepad, WP Kanaki. If you don't know those plugins, that's okay, but if you happen to have those, they hook up to this membership site solution. The only catch is that you have to use these on your personally owned sites and URLs. You cannot use them on sites and URLs you do not personally own, but it contains a year of updates and support for a total value today of $2,476 at membergenius.com. But it's less than 2476. It's less than 997. It's less than 297 even though drip content is built in. It's less than 197 even though you can use it for unlimited levels and members. It's less than 147, which means you can also take payments on PayPal, ClickBank, and JVZoo, all built in on like one single plugin. This hooks up to literally any autoresponder, MailChimp, Aweber, GetResponse, whatever. It's less than 67, even though I'm starting to feel kind of stupid now, because for less than $67, you can make a membership site today. You saw it was all hosted in one place. You saw that you can one-click login with Facebook and Google. It's less than $47, and it even comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it. Do you want to know how much it is? Well, you can go to membership or membergenius.com right now and cheat, but it's just for usage on one site. Even though you can have as many levels and as many members as you want on this one site, it's just $27 today. And if you say, well, I plan on making a bunch of sites, well, that's fine. You don't have to, don't worry, you don't have to pay $27 every time you have a new idea. It's $97 to use on as many sites as you personally own. So the only decision today is, do you want to start off at $27 or $97 one-time payments? And we give you the ability to upgrade later on if that's a hesitating factor for you. So membergenius.com, $27 for one site or $97 for unlimited sites. That's called the ultimate version right there. So set up a site, and if you guess what, if you just made one $97 sale from that, you've broken even. We use this on, or actually made money even sometimes. We use this on all of our new sites. Why? Because you just install one plugin and it does all of it. It works with any theme, old or new, mobile responsive, whatever. You can have as many public pages as you want. So you can have the front door, the .com. You can have the the page that sells people on the free site, have the page that sells people on the monthly site, have the page that adds whatever other product you're selling or giving away, as many sales letters, opt-in pages, all that stuff. Have as many free, paid, or different price levels and pages that you want. So, you know how earlier I said you can have a core level and a free level and all that? Well, you can mess around with some other free offer, and there's no rule against you having another level and another unprotected page and another protected page for all those things. You have complete control over drip content, what autoresponder you want to use, what payment system you want to use, what social network, Facebook or Google you want to use for your members to register and log in. Or if you don't even like that, you don't have to turn that on. That's just one thing you can enable or choose to just keep it simple and move forward with making money. Member Genius. It's a WordPress plugin, unlimited members, unlimited levels, drip content, payment integration, email autoresponder integration, social integration, integrates with all our plugins. Use it on all the sites that you personally own. Single site license is just $27, or the unlimited site license is $97. So go to membergenius.com right now to secure your spot. Click the pay button and send $27 and log into the site in the next few minutes. I'm going to go right now with you. We're going to open up a web browser. We're going to go to membergenius. So that's membergenius.com. We have a cool little video for you there. I'm Robert. And we have all the details right here. Whoops, if I don't click on that, okay. Contains drip content, PayPal, JVZoo, ClickBank, any email responder, hooks up to Facebook and Google, money back guarantee. Here's all the details. The only decision to make right now is, do you want to just use it on one site for 27 or unlimited personal sites for 97? You can always upgrade later if you're not sure. So membergenius.com is the place to go. We're going to shut down the webinar right now. So the place to go is membergenius.com. I'm Robert Plank from membergenius.com. We're going to close down this call. So I hope you had fun. I hope you grab MemberGenius, use it to set up a membership site today. Make it simple, make some money, get the magic back, get the fun back. Get back to making money, because guess what? You make money, that's motivation to do everything faster and make more money. Meanwhile, all your competitors are pontificating and kind of hemming and hawing, deciding what to do next. I think you know what to do next. A membership site needs to be a certainty in your life. You need to do what needs to be done right now. Get to that shortest path to making money. So get the site set up right now today. We're also going to throw the replay from today, this training call right here. We're going to toss it in the members area. So I know I moved really fast. We had to fit it all in an hour. You might have missed stuff. So we'll put that in there today inside the members area of membergenius.com. So we're going to close this all down. Go here now. I'm Robert Plank from membergenius.com. So thanks for watching. Go to membergenius.com and bye now.